the difference between suicide and murder.
Okay.
I know there is a clear clear difference. When somebody commits murder, um, people go against it,
Mhm.
and the murderer is consequently charged to court and so on and so forth and killed. But when somebody commits murder, when somebody commits
Suicide.
suicide, nobody bothers about it. Now, sir, as we talk this moment, there may be somebody distressed and having the option of committing suicide. What is the danger? What danger do you see in suicide and the inherence in murder? Please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. This is an interesting one tonight. I think it's a good time that this has come up because we have seen increasing numbers of suicide or suicidal attempts in Nigeria. And people are linking it with depression. There seems to be a higher incidence of depression in recent times that makes people to consider giving it all up and just ending it all there with suicide. So the way Daddy went about his question tonight is that when somebody commits murder, everybody's outraged. How could you just sniff out some life like that? But maybe not so much with suicide. The reason it seems as if it's not so much with suicide is that it's his own life he took. In other words, it was not being unfair or wicked towards some other person, but this time around it's himself that it's addressed that. So people still feel sorry for people who got suicidal and took their own lives. People really still do, especially in some other parts of the world than where we are. People still do, because a lot of people have found that whole thing is often linked to some depression. It's often linked to some frustration, extreme frustration, leading to somebody feeling like unliving himself, unliving herself, and things like that. Your question is, what dangers do I see in suicide? Well, the thing about suicide is this: it is the people left behind that really go through a lot of pain. They really go through pain, emotional pain, a pain of loss, grief, and all that. So they go through all that, really, and that is the big thing about it. That's why anybody who's thinking about that should consider the other people that are going to be in pain. This number two thing that I see there again is this: when that suicidal attempt is made and it doesn't get completed, then it's a lot of hustle, because that person may never be himself again. Some serious hurt, might have come to the body or come to the mind, on account of that. The person may never recover from what harm he or she has done, to himself, to herself. That's the other thing about it. I've not spoken about the spiritual aspects of it at all, because some people look at it as the person committed murder in a final way where he didn't get a chance to say I'm sorry. I hope you get what I'm saying. But still, some of them, even while going through the method they have chosen, they actually feel sorry before they go. So nobody can say the person has gone to hell or gone to heaven or whatever. You really cannot say. It's totally between the person and God, right? So, but I just want to say this at this time. And I think a few days ago I was on our daily devotional, really, that there are people they call mind and emotion doctors. Some people like to call them psychiatrists, but some people have associated some stigma with that, and that's why I call them mind and emotion doctors. They are trained to help people out of some of these things that lead to depression. Please, if you are feeling really, really down, really, really low, tell somebody. Tell somebody that is this thing about not telling anybody. That's often what Satan uses. Tell somebody. Tell somebody you trust somebody, you have confidence in, who can guide you and all that. I notice that with people who are of the younger generation, they will go and tell somebody of their own age, and many times it doesn't work. Tell somebody who can help, who has a bit of experience more than you. Another thing people do, young people do, they seem to think that all answers are online, that whenever anything happens, Google it. Instead of really seeking help from somebody or the other. So don't, this thing about not telling anybody is the devil. Tell somebody. That person may be able to help, or take you to a mind and emotion doctor. Somebody who is able to help you after listening to you, and they've been able to help many people in this way. In that way, we can reduce some of these stories, unfortunate stories that we have had in recent times in our nation. May God help us in Jesus' mighty name.
Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Benson, please call back the number
It's gone.
080-33-777-7, and also 090-4141-5151. Okay, while waiting for other calls to come in, I'll just ask this question. Pastor, this song, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Okay, Mr. Benson is here. We'll take that and come back. Good evening, Mr. Benson. You are welcome to Pastor Experience.
Okay, Pastor, we were. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.